Hi there, Johnny Briones. If you have a child who's a student, if you're a student, or if you know somebody who just loves to learn information, this video is for you. Share it with your friends and family because it's really important. I'm going to teach you how to remember information for longer periods of time. But if you're in school, how to remember information and help you get the better grades. So I'm going to give you 3 tips. The first tip is review the information. Now, I know being in high school, being in school, that most students wait to the last minute to study for any test. Let's start shoving information the night before or 2 nights before, and it just doesn't work. Because when you do that, you don't have enough time to review the information you're trying to learn. So that's why you spend 10 hours, 15 hours trying to cram all this information in, and it doesn't really work out. So this is what you have to do. There's 5 reviews I recommend. Right after, a day, a week, 2 weeks, a month. But of course, if a test is coming up, you probably want to review a little bit more. But the point of reviewing is that it allows you to remember the information for longer periods of time. Because if you don't review information, over time, it just fades away. But by reviewing it, it keeps it in your mind, it keeps it there longer in your memory. So that's why reviewing is so important. But another important tip is tip number 2, which is concentrating. Concentrating on what you're doing. I know students, myself, I even do it. You're either watching TV, watching YouTube, trying to eat, doing all these different things while you're studying. And you wonder why at the end of your studying, if it be 2 hours, 3 hours, you're like, why can't I remember anything I just studied? The reason is because you're not focusing just on the material itself. Because your mind was focused on the TV show or you eating. So what you have to do is you have to totally focus on what you're trying to learn at the present time. So put your phone away, close all your emails, close all your tabs, sit there and just focus and study on the material. And if you do that, you're going to remember more information because you're actually paying attention on the information you're trying to learn. You're actually focusing completely on the material. And that's going to make the difference in being able to remember what you just studied and not remembering what you just studied. So concentrating on what you're trying to study is very important. And the last tip, tip number 3, is very crucial when you're trying to take a test or when you're under pressure. And that is, don't stress out. Because when you stress out, everything goes bad. Stress is the worst thing for memory. Okay? It's the worst thing for your memory is stressing out. Because what happens when you stress out, you start to panic. You start to think, oh no, did I learn this? Do I even know this? So your mind starts to race and you can't concentrate. See, this is where concentration comes back in. You can't concentrate on what you're doing. You're stressing out, you just totally freak out, and you just can't regroup yourself and focus back on the test. So every question you're like, oh, I think it's this, but I'm not sure. So you just put whatever there because you can't really think clearly. Stressing out makes it so that you can't think clearly. So that's why you want to be calm. So even if there's 3 problems, you're like, I don't know this problem, skip. I don't know this problem, skip. Don't start stressing out. Just be relaxed. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to them, work on them later, and maybe something will come back up. And doing something just like that, something that simple, is to allow you to keep your stress under control. Believe me, when I do these competitions, I can't be stressing out when I'm trying to memorize a deck of cards under a minute. Because if I start stressing out, I'm just going to totally forget every single card I just memorized. That's why when I do these competitions, I'm really relaxed. I'm calm. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Because I know that's the right mindset I have to have if I want to remember a deck of cards under a minute or anything like that. So when you're in school taking tests, don't freak out. When you're giving a presentation, don't freak out. Be calm. And being calm and reducing your stress is going to help you recall that information when you need to. Well, there you have it. You have 3 tips. Review, concentrate, don't be stressed out. If you do these things, school is going to be a little bit more easier for you. You're going to be able to remember the information easier and for a lot longer periods of time. I wish I knew this the whole time I was doing school, but I studied hours upon hours upon hours. I did stress out when I was taking tests, so I just want to tell you this information to make school easier and so you could get better grades in school. So subscribe for more videos on how to improve your memory so I can help you get the best memory of your life.